What's up, everybody? Paul here from the Hoops Crew. Goldie making her own little debut here. We're kind of juggling puppies and sick kids and all sorts of things all on the same day today. But we are talking today about Ollie Lord, the Port Adelaide young gun who's shown a lot of promise over the course of the years, but who is largely out of favour at Port at the moment, despite the fact that their list is continuing to rebuild in a range of different ways, needing a little bit of extra support, and I think in need of a young emerging key forward. Despite that, he's not getting a game at the moment. So we're going to pick through some conversations that have stirred up around Ollie, his interest with the Cats and the Ds. I'll make sure to note there's an article here that highlights a whole bunch of stuff posted by Zero Hanger that we're going to talk about in great depths. But before we get to all of that, we'll take a word from our sponsor.
The Hoops Crew Media Network is proudly sponsored by Cyril Cook Florist. Visit them at shop 1211 Leather Street in Breakwater. Phone them on 035 222 2244 or visit their website at www.cyrilcookflorist.com.au and use the offer code GOCATS in the voucher field at checkout to get 20% off your next online purchase.
Thank you, Cyril Cook Florist, as always, for your ongoing support of the Hoops Crew and all we get up to. Now, let's get into the conversation here around Ollie Lord. Are you keen, miss? We'll talk about it. Talk about him. Yeah. All right, let's go. So there's a Victorian duo, and I've already highlighted it's Geelong and Melbourne, who have shown a lot of interest in Ollie Lord. Melbourne needs to continue to develop their tall forward stocks. It's been a real area of weakness for quite a few years at this particular point. While Geelong, well, we like tall forwards. We've got Shannon Neal coming through. We've got Jeremy Cameron. But of course, Jeremy Cameron's time is close. I mean, he signed a contract for a few more years, but he is getting closer and closer to the end. He is on the wrong side of 30 at this particular point. And so a time is coming where Jeremy Cameron may not be the central figure of our forward line like he has been for the last couple of years. And like Tom Hawkins was for many years before. We are going to need to look at replacements, and Ollie Lord comes into the frame in that particular regard. The article reads, Port Adelaide forward Ollie Lord has reportedly received interest from both Geelong and Melbourne as he continues to be overlooked for senior selection. And that is the real key thing to this conversation. It's the fact that Ollie Lord just cannot get a game at the moment. It seems to be this constant obstacle for him. We're going to talk about some of his match numbers shortly. He just can't get a game. Power coach Ken Hinkley has the 23-year-old at his disposal, and with Jeremy Finlayson previously deployed in the back half and the long-term injury to Todd Marshall, Lord's selection practically picked itself. And yet, but heading into round 2 against Richmond, that is not to be. Now, of course, we know that Port smoked the Tigers this weekend, but yeah, he didn't get a game. Assistant coach Josh Carr described Lord as a little bit off in regards to his own form, noting the injuries have played a part in the pre-season. In previous years, he's been knocking the door down and coming into the team. And just at the moment, he's probably a little bit off in regards to his own form, Carr said on Friday. He's probably a product a little bit of those injuries in the preseason, because in the preseason games, he played in the ruck a lot. Now, I'm not crazy about that. Like, he's shown a lot of potential as a forward. It was a couple of years ago, it was 2023 when he put in a particularly good performance against the Cats. And for me, that was a bit of a, oh, hang on, who is this bloke? Where has he come from? Why is he what he is already? And I was really quite impressed. And since then, he's just really, really gone missing. It's been a bit disappointing for him. We're just trying to give him the best chance now. Let me get rid of that. To go forward at the Maggies. That is obviously the Port Adelaide seconds. And get his form up so that when he comes into the AFL team, he comes in with confidence. And like I said, it's probably the ruck stuff, probably holding him back a bit in that. In that preseason, we need. It's one of these things that transfers poorly to the written word, but makes a lot of sense when you're actually in conversation. Holding him back in that preseason, we needed someone to compete against Jordan Sweet because he didn't have the other two guy and Lord. He was that guy that went in there. My God, it just does not translate very well whatsoever. Josh Carr, future AFL coach. Hopefully from now on, he can build that form in the Maggies. He's got so much upside. He was, and actually, as the article talks about, he was drafted in 2020, picked 49. And like I said, there was a really impressive game against the Cats that I remember. And of course, a 2023 qualifying final against Brisbane, where he kicked 4 goals. It's been really impressive as well. The key thing is Geelong is interested. He hails from Geelong Grammar. There are ties to the Cats. He's averaging a bit more than a goal a game, which is not necessarily ideal at this particular point of his development. You'd like to see a little bit more from him in that regard, but he just isn't getting the game time. And so if I kind of flick over and read through some of his numbers here, 2023 was when he got his debut. He played 13 games. He kicked 15 goals, including obviously that bag of 4 in the prelim final. Sorry, qualifying final, I should say. And it was pretty impressive. I thought his defensive pressure wasn't too bad as a key forward. There was lots of really promising signs. His hands were sticky. He was marking the ball really well. I was happy with where he was headed. 2024, last year, the number of games dropped off. There were some little injury concerns. There were things that kind of niggled and held him back, but he still managed to average a goal a game from that particular point. I just think he, for whatever reason, couldn't break through to make the senior team, and he seems to be stuck in that situation now. And for someone like Ollie Lord, whose body is developing nicely and is getting himself ready to make waves at the AFL level, he really needs this opportunity to show what he can do. Otherwise, he's going to want to go elsewhere. And Geelong and Melbourne are sitting there waiting with bated breath. I would see Ollie Lord become a Cat at the end of the year. I could see him join the Cats. I could see him come through for a pretty small price too. Like we have so many conversations about Harley Reid, like yesterday's video. We've spoken about Clayton Oliver, Tom de Koning. We've spoken about Matt Rowell and a range of other players who would come with a fairly high price tag. This is one that we could get for picks. Maybe a third round pick, similar to what he got drafted with. He's not getting game time. It's 19 games across 3 seasons since his debut. 5 seasons overall. He's not going to be fetching a king's ransom. And I think there's a really good opportunity there for Geelong to take a punt on someone. We lost Phoenix Foster at the end of last year, who was demonstrating a lot of capacity at the VFL level and was getting closer and closer to really kind of cracking it. Ended up being delisted. He's departed the Cats for reasons that he has spoken a little bit about publicly. He's a good friend of the Hoops crew. And we wish Phoenix his absolute best. But Ollie Lord, can come in and fill that void and start kicking the door down and putting pressure on Shannon Neal, putting pressure on Jeremy Cameron, maybe, developing such a way that we can have this 3-pronged tall forward situation with an Ollie Henry that's there as kind of your mid-size option. And then the fleet of smalls from Brad Close to Brian Myers to Tyson Stengel to Ollie Dempsey, all buzzing around underfoot. It could be a really dynamic forward line with quite different forwards. Playing different roles. I think it could work quite well for us in the future. So let me know, Cats fans, what you think about the idea of Ollie Lord joining the Cats. I think there's a lot of promise there. And I think the risk that you would need to take to bring him in the door is also quite minimal. So I'm going to just lift you up a little bit because you're just trying to chomp on my fingers at the moment. Those little baby teeth are coming through. Let me know, Cats fans, what you think of Ollie Lord joining the Cats. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And I think it's one we should definitely explore. The Ds are interested, but I think it's fair to say they're probably sliding more than they're improving. And so I think we've got a better pitch that we can put together as well. That's where we'll wrap things up. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the Hoops Crew, like the video, share it with your friends, get the word out there about what we're up to. We want to build up this community with as many awesome people, both Geelong supporters and neutrals, as possible, spruiking the good word. Enough of that. You've already got your debut. You don't need to talk anymore. Sharing the good word about what we're up to and engaging in some really deep conversations about the AFL. We don't want to just sit here and get on our high horses and talk about how everyone's coming to the Cats and be arrogant about it. No, there's reasons why, and we can kind of explore those a little bit. Keen to have that conversation with you. You can also find me on social media at Paul James Games. That's Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, where we can talk about this further as well. The Hoops Crew is at the Hoops Crew. Consider checking out the Patreon, where you can subscribe for 7 days, get early access to our content. There's also extended content and some exclusive stuff as well. There's a 7-day free trial to check all of that out. Until next time, hopefully Ollie Lord is a Cat. Hopefully Harley Reid is a Cat. Hopefully Matt Rowell's a Cat. Let's make it rain with all these external players wanting to come to the Cats. I'm sure no one will get upset about that. Thank you very much for watching. Say bye-bye, Goldie. We'll see you later. Remain Geelong strong, everyone.